as a way to deal with an unconstitutional act.
And if I could ask the gentleman, isn't it true, if the gentleman recalls, that while this Supreme Court justice was just advocating in a flippant way, drop health insurance coverage for over 16,000 employees, doesn't that same Supreme Court justice enjoy federal employee health insurance? And isn't that same Supreme Court justice protected from not going into Obamacare? It seems to me that our president is not in Obamacare, nor are the Supreme Court justices in Obamacare. It seems to me that there's a shield of protection for them. It's good enough for the American people to suffer under Obamacare, but I don't believe that our president or the Supreme Court justices have to be in Obamacare.
That is my recollection, and it sure seems like that since they feel so strongly about Obamacare, that they really should have the chance to experience it firsthand.
There was no Affordable Care Act in our family. It's an extremely unaffordable health insurance act. And I would be curious to know if the Supreme Court justices would voluntarily put themselves in Obamacare so they too could know the pleasure of what it is to pay 4 times more for the same health insurance than my family paid last year.
Have we given unelected bureaucrats the power to determine what your religious beliefs, firmly held, include? Because under Obamacare, an agency says your religious rights must yield to our unelected bureaucratic decision that this medication must be included. Therefore, your First Amendment rights yield to our unelected bureaucratic agency rights.
That's right.
To decide what your religious rights have to include and what they don't.
That's exactly right.
Incredible.
That is government enforced coercion on religious belief, and it varies at caprice and whim. That's one thing under the rule of law that has been a pillar of American exceptionalism, the fact that under the rule of law there is certainty for the American people. If you looked at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, you knew with certainty when you woke up tomorrow morning that your religious liberties were intact. Now, apparently today, the gentleman was in the chamber and heard that according to at least one Supreme Court justice, in her opinion, they aren't so much certain anymore. It is at not only the election of the court, but at the election of the unnamed bureaucrat who decides today we'll have these killer drugs that we mandate. Tomorrow, what drugs will they take off the list? Will I not get life-saving drugs that I would need to get? Will I not get life-saving treatments that I thought I was going to get? Will the bureaucrats decide that only politically connected best friends of the administration get certain surgical procedures or get to see the best doctors? We don't know, because apparently the Supreme Court has decided that the bureaucracy must be fully imbued with all power. But that means, again, that the president and his administration wins their religious liberty and the right to force their religious views down the throats of the American people. But while the president wins, the American people lose, and they lose under the protections of the Constitution. It's unlike anything we have ever seen before in the history of the United States of America. It is a seminal day in Washington, D.C., and it's why the American people better wake up really quick and watch what's happening, because we are living in a country we no longer recognize. Because it is being rewritten by unelected bureaucrats. It is being rewritten by Supreme Court justices who apparently think that the amendments in the Constitution are optional rather than mandatory.
Yeah.